All right, it's Matt Mrozik. We're in the home stretch. I got two more after this. So this is the crow bust offered by those Good Fellas Resin by Angela Valletta and Scott Rizzo. Angela was not there. I believe I met Scott, and Saul Alvarez was at the booth because he was selling his full-size werewolf heads. And Saul also did the paint up of this display piece. And Saul is a great guy. He helped me when I was painting my 11 bust because he painted them up, and those were my first attempt at painting anything with I guess 1 second. Those are the first two busts I painted that were of an actual person, so I was trying to get the skin tones, right. So he was very helpful as far as like telling me what colors to use and stuff. And I was quite surprised to look at Saul's paint ups in person and then look at mine. And Saul's were better, of course, but they were very similar as far as like the tones go and everything. So huge shout out to Saul for helping me get those done. But back to this guy. Saul did the paint up, and if you haven't seen it, check it out. I'll put a link below. Just a really cool sculpt, but what really sets it off is Saul's paint job on it. So the base is the rooftop of, I guess, where he lived before, he got shot and was turned into the crow. Nicely detailed. Saul did a really cool paint job of the crow inside here. Now, me as a noob to any kind of like hand painting, I think a decal would have been a nice touch for those of us who aren't as talented as Saul. So just a suggestion. Maybe a decal that crow would have been nice to put in there. Other than that, my only crit is I have a pretty significant bubble on the bottom here. I'll have to resculpt this detail, but no big deal. Other than that, this is done really well. So let's look at the bust. And again, I wish they would sign their work. Put your signature somewhere on the bottom or on the sculpt so we know who did it. And here's the crow. Really, really nice piece. Likeness is spot on. Really well done. Let's see. Let's focus. Cool. And it's kind of it's. Trust me, it maybe look off a little bit here, but this does the likeness is spot on. Once the paint's on there, it really pops. I've got a little silicone here in mine, so the next pull after mine will be missing this part of the hair. So they'll have to go back and resculpt that just a little bit right there. That I have, and another little tidbit right there I've got. There's a bubble in the hair I gotta take care of. The mold line is pretty non-existent. It's in the hair as usual. We'll have to clean up, but no big deal. Your typical cleanup. This is this is like on Paul Gill level as far as casting goes, with the exception of the bubble. That's the only real crit on this guy. And then they give you in a baggie some strands of hair, and they just left, and it's probably a good idea, they left the backing of the resin because it's very fragile, so we'll have to go through and clean that up. Some sandpaper, but they just kind of, I'll have to look at the reference photos, but they just hang down like over his bangs here, because if you watch the movie, his head's down a lot, so his hair hangs in front of his face. So yeah, cool piece by Good Fellas Resin. I'll put a link down below to Angelo's Facebook page. You can give him a call. I'll also tag Scott Rizzo, so you can give either of them a shout out to get one of these. They sold out of these really quick. They only had I think they had 10 of them. And they sold out in 10 minutes or something like that. Something crazy, but cool piece. And again, I'll put a link down below to Saul Alvarez's paint up because it really sets it off. Again, my only suggestion is maybe a decal for those of us who are not as skilled in the hand painting area as Saul is. Like on the Willy Wonka bust, they included a chocolate bar decal that you could put on the chocolate bar. So that was a nice touch. So just something small like that would be nice. But other than that, a great piece and really cool. So check it out. Now I'm looking at this. Maybe this could have been flattened out here. So maybe this could have been filled in. So it's just a flat, marrying of the base and the bust. But again, that's being pretty nitpicky and pretty petty as far as a critique goes, but nice piece, and check it out. Thanks for watching. I have 2 more kits to review. Thanks.